Again, Erev Shabbos, Parshas Ha'azinu, Shabbos Shuvah. We are on the precipice, the doorstep of Yom Kippur, and you have to have tshuva on your mind at this point. At this point, we're already 37 days in from our avodah of Shuvu Vonim Shoivavim Shuvu Shuva Hashem Alekeichem Hashivenu Hashem Elechem V'Nashuva Shuva Ad Hashem Alekecha. Ben Yoina says Ad V'Ad Bechlal. You're mamish part of the Rebbeinu Shalom. You associate with your neshama that chelik Elokai that's inside of you. The Rambam writes in Perek Hey, Hilchos Tshuva, that everyone has, like the kids come home from kindergarten with the scale. Everyone has their zechuyos and their averos, and they get weighed out. And the Rambam says every individual, every single bnei adam, sounds like goyim also, that more mitzvahs, they get life, wonderful things. More averos, chas v'shalom, and they get destroyed immediately. Ravid says not immediately, they're signed to be destroyed immediately, and it happens when it happens. The Rambam goes on, takes it a step further. It says every city, every Medina is judged, has their mitzvahs, has their averos, more averos, Baruch Hashem, good things. More zechuyas, chas v'shalom le'aleinu, we shouldn't know such things. Here's the part that really strikes me. The entire world, says the Rambam, the entire world is judged. More mitzvahs, the world exists. More averos, it is immediately destroyed. More zechuyos, it exists. It exists the way we see it. More averos, it gets destroyed. I don't want to jump to conclusions, but I'm currently filming this from within the world. If there's a world to speak of, that means that we have more zechuyos as a global entity than we do averos. How does that add up? We're talking about 2023, Tovshin Pei Dalid. The world has not gotten better, not much since the Dara Mabel. It's not getting better day by day. Yes, obviously there are beautiful, beautiful enclaves, little yeshivas here and communities here, and individuals and even chaburas, even big institutions. You have the Mir, you have BMG, you have Chasiduses that are gargantuan, but there are billions of people on this planet. Very few of them are doing the Torah's mandate. Shev mitzvahs b'nei Noach, a couple of Noahites out there. How in the world do we have more zechuyos than mitzvah, than averos? The world exists. That's the reality. But how's it possible? How does it add up? You hear the kasha. What's going on? I must be missing something. But the Rambam, he sheds a little light on this. Maybe this can answer this blatant question. He says, how exactly do you add up zechuyos and averos? He says it's not by numbers. You can't quantitatively tally up. Good deed, check. Bad deed, X. Good deed, no. It doesn't work. Because that's not fair. The Rebbeinu Shalom is absolutely tzach v'yosher, absolutely fair in every single way. Nothing that anything happens in the entire world to anybody, anyone who is affected by anything that happens to anybody, it's all totally, absolutely perfect and exact. And if we would just get a check for putting on tefillin that we've been putting on all our life, or helping an old lady across the street, which you'd be a rush if you didn't, or not saying lashon hara, which you really want to say, which is basically like the greatest type in the world. There's nothing more geschmack than saying a shtick lashon hara. Any taiva, kina. If someone overcomes his jealousy, someone is meichel somebody who he mamish has tainas against. He has been holding a grudge for years, and comes to Yom Kippur and he says, you know what? I'm going against my nature, and I'm going to be meichel him. And the Rebbeinu Shalom obviously is going to be meichel him too. It goes against the teva of the way the world is set up. How could he give the same check to that guy as this guy? Why? Because it's a mitzvah? No. Rambam says we tally it up based on the quality of the mitzvah, the quality of the avera. Yeah, if a guy was raised on a park bench, it's a true story. He's a yid. He grew up homeless, whatever the situation was. He remembers waking up on a park bench with a knife being held to his eyes. Someone was mugging him for his clothing. For this guy, he said that when he would mug old ladies, he would lower them to the ground slowly to make sure they wouldn't get hurt. Want something crazy? He might get schar for that. He gets schar for that. Where he is, where in that Nekudas HaBechira, that's where he's holding. That's a mitzvah. Not hurting old ladies. Can't be the same schar for everything. You get it quantitatively. And here gleans one of the most fundamental and important and overlooked concepts in our existence. And that is as follows. We don't get schar k'fi what we do. We get schar k'fi how hard we worked on it. We get schar, like the Chofetz Chaim famously says, for our amelos, for the schwitz, for the effort that we put into our work, even if it gleans nothing, even if nothing comes out of it, no product to show for it. You worked hard, you get reward. That means if a guy works to fight a taiva 1,000 times for 1,000 years, and then he fails, he gets a boatload of schar. It's not about the result. What do you put into this? If we live in a world, if the world still exists, despite the depravity of civilization today, despite the billions of non-Jews, the total hefkerus of our world, you don't need examples, it's everywhere, it's in your face. Our mitzvahs, our few mitzvahs from the 0.02% of the human population that are Jewish, and the point whatever percent of that are religious, Shomer Shabbos, yeah, you. The ones that know that there's a Hashem, that know that there's a God who runs everything in their life. The mitzvahs that our little fraction of this world does on a daily basis, those mitzvahs outweigh every single avera on the planet. That is an insane thought. That is crazy. We clearly underestimate the enormity of our mitzvahs. Rav Yitzchak Zachavi used to say, take on little Kabbalas. So there was a Rav Zaid giving a shir in Yerushalayim years ago. And he was talking about, take on small little things, take on a Kabbalah so that when you walk into Rosh Hashanah next year, you won't be one of those guys saying, I changed nothing since last year. Chas v'shalom. You'll walk in and you say, no, I've changed. All the Kabbalahs, all the steps that I took forward in my life started on Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur. Yeah? Take on 5 things that you might do, that you want to do, one thing that you guaranteed 100% will do next year, you're going to walk into Rosh Hashanah with it, yeah? So this Chiloni guy comes over to Rav Zaid after this year, and he says, totally religious, he says, Rabbi, you inspired me, here's my Kabbalah, I'm going to cut up my food before I eat it. Eat it in bite sizes, I'm not going to eat like an animal, I'm going to eat like a human, I'm going to appreciate the food that Hashem gives me. Zaid's looking at this guy, he's like, maybe it's kosher food, that's what he's thinking. Maybe keep Shabbos, start with the basics. He didn't say a word. He said, you're taking on a Kabbalah that's beautiful, chazak, v'ematz, Hashem should give you the strength, so you should keep it. This guy was he used to work in a bakery, but he was let off, so he was unemployed at the time. 1 year later, Rav Zaid's giving another one of these Elul Shiurim. His Chaim Mashiach comes over to him and says, Rav Zaid, thank you again for your speech. I'm the guy from last year. Full religious garb, Shomer Torah mitzvahs, the whole thing, total Baal Tshuva. He says, what happened from cutting up your food? He says, yeah. He says, you kidding? No. What happened? He said, I was Mekabel, and you're right, it's a small thing, but I knew I could do it, and I was going to do it no matter what. And one day, it got a little hard. I was in the park with my kids. Kids were starving, and they're asking me, maybe get something to eat, Daddy, give me something to eat. I look across the street, there's a bakery, and this guy's unloading these pallets, carts, and trucks, and boxes full of Danish's delicious baked goods. So I ran over to him and I said, look, my kids are hungry. Can I buy a couple of Danishes off you? And he said, no, I sell wholesale. I have a truck. I can't sell you, what you if you want to place an order. He said, no, come on, my kids are starving. Can I buy a couple of Danishes? So the guy looks at the hungry kids. He can't say no to them. And he gives them a couple of Danishes for a couple of bucks. They sit down to eat. Now, Danishes you don't cut up. Danishes are like French fries. You stick a fork in a French fry, your friends won't talk to you again. Come on, French fries are the finger food. Either don't eat them or eat them with your fingers. Danishes, you eat it with your hand. It's like fast food. But he had a Kabbalah. He said, I'm cutting up all my food. That includes Danishes, includes everything. So he ran, he got a fork and a knife and a plate, and he starts cutting up his Danish into little pieces. He says, I opened it up, and it looked wrong. He said, I worked in a bakery for years. I know that. With, the chocolate ooze and all the different ingredients in there, it could look funny inside, but not green oozy funny. Something was really off. I smelled it. It was engine oil. How in the world did I get it? He smells it. He said, this stuff is dangerous. He ran after the truck like a man, jumping in front of the guy, waving his hands. He stops the truck, and he says, do me a favor, cut up one of your Danishes. He cuts it open. He shows this oil, fluid, this toxic stuff. You have a teaspoon of it, you could die. He says, what in the world? They start cutting it up, different boxes, the whole truck, the whole shipment. Someone put in engine oil, just doesn't know how it was. Maliciously, whatever it was in there. He saved people's lives. The guy actually ended up giving him a job in that bakery. He realized that such a small thing, the Rebbeinu Shalom was looking out. He did such a small thing for the Rebbeinu Shalom, and Hashem literally saved his life through that. He said, I got to take this a step further. And he said, I took on one more Kabbalah. Slowly Shabbos, slowly Kashrus, slowly Taras Mishpacha, sent my kids to yeshiva. He said, within a year, I'm a religious man. Can't underestimate the small things that we do. Never. And the Rebbeinu Shalom give us the koyach and the strength. Answer our tefillas. We're nothing without Him. Even the little things that we do, all we could do are little things. Hashem does everything. L'maisa, Hashem does the tshuva. Just Moshe Shapiro said, don't get in His way. That's it. May we be zoicha. Ovinu malkeinu, Ovinu malkeinu, Ovinu malkeinu, Choneinu v'aneinu, ki ein banu ma'aseh, Haseh imanu, tzedakah v'chesed, Haseh imanu, tzedakah v'chesed, v'hoshi'enu, Haseh imanu, tzedakah v'chesed, Haseh imanu, tzedakah v'chesed, v'hoshi'enu. Good Shabbos.